If you guys remember, about a month ago in one of my vlogs, I talked about this new style of neck brace I bought, and since then I have gotten a lot of comments and questions about it, and I did promise that I would keep you guys updated on how I am liking it. So now, like I said, I've been wearing it for about a month, pretty much straight. I've learned some little tricks about it that I thought I might share with you guys. But first of all, a lot of you wanted to know, is it still comfortable? And my answer is still yes. I still find it a whole lot more comfortable than the old model. This model is called the Aspen Multipost Therapy Collar, and it is a bit different because it does have this little air pump in it. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about that aspect, I will link my first video where I talk about it up here and down in the description. And then a lot of the other questions were about fit. I know that a lot of us tend to have a hard time when it comes to fitting the right neck brace, just because a lot of us have pretty long necks but very thin necks, and so it's kind of hard to find a brace that works. This brace isn't really the exception to that. When I got it, the first thing I noticed was it was pretty wide, but I have come up with some little tips and tricks to get it nice and tight, and they really do work. So I do think this is a good option for people who are having a hard time, especially with little necks like me. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This is ridiculous. I'm putting on a neck brace so I can show you guys a neck brace. Okay, so again, here is the brace, and just like I said in my last video, this white piece does not come on this brace. This was actually a piece that was on a different model that I had, and I put it on here. So I'm going to take that off to show you exactly what it comes with. Okay, so this is how the brace comes. This is the white piece I was talking about. So that does not come with it. It looks like this. A lot of the problems I was having with the size was just that I wasn't able to adjust the Velcro enough to make it as tight as I wanted. Another thing about this brace is it has two different kinds of straps. On one side, it has a strap like this that is fed through and loops back around. The idea is that you keep this side adjusted at all times, so when you take it on and off, you will be using this side with the tab. As you can see, this is a little bit different than the other side. I was having a hard time adjusting both of the sides to be tight enough, so I'm going to show you what I do. On this side, they give you really just this very small little circle of Velcro to stick to, and then of course this is Velcro as well. So really, it's supposed to fasten just about to here. But I was noticing that that was just not tight enough for me, so what I did was I started overlapping the pads. As you can see in this brace, there are a set of pads that Velcro into the front piece and also into the back piece. In order to get a little bit more adjustment, I started overlapping the pads on the inside. I'll show you what I mean by that. So right now, it can only Velcro this far, but when I take the pad from the back and slide it in between this hard part in the front and the pad in the front, now you can see I'm able to pull this all the way back, and I started actually sticking it right in to the pad back here, and it actually stays quite well. The Velcro really does hook on well to there. So that is how I adjust that side. The other side, I do pretty much the same thing when I put it on. I undo the strap. I make sure that this back pad right here is slipped in between the hard plastic of the front and the pad of the front. That way I am able to pull this much, much tighter than I would be able to do if I overlapped the pads the way that you're supposed to. As you can see, that also makes it a bit more padded in the back, which is kind of nice and pretty comfortable. It fits quite well. So that is how I make it tighter. I hope that makes sense. If not, you can feel free to message me with questions, but that's just how I do it. I think that I'm going to end up attaching another Velcro strip back here, probably just sew it on. That way I don't wear out the fabric back there.